The world watched in disbelief as South Africa slipped into unrest that threatened to disrupt the country's economy. In the rest of Africa, however, some of those who watched were quick to point out that this could have happened anywhere on the continent. This is why.
The current violence and protests we're seeing in the streets is in large part informed by underlying factors of poverty, joblessness, societal dislocation, social dislocation, and a sense of desperation by a lot of young people who do not see a future. They don't have any prospects for employment or to be able to make an income. And so events such as the arrest of Jacob Zuma provides an opportunity. It's a proximate factor, an underlying factor, an opportunity for them to be able to vent out the anger.
They warn that COVID-19, high rates of unemployment, political and economic exclusion create a perfect storm for unrest in Africa, where there is a youth bulge which creates both an opportunity and a challenge for the world's youngest continent.
The increasing youth bulge on the continent is not proportional to economic growth, and that creates a disconnect between population increase, especially employable population, vis-a-vis the available opportunities. And that disconnect is where the danger lies. And unless countries on the continent address that question, I think we are more likely to see some African spring spread across. Now, that does not mean that the spring is always going to be positive, as we have witnessed what happened in the Arab world and in North Africa. Sometimes it turns out to be extremely detrimental to the general growth, not just of nations, but of the continent at large.
That and the issue of politicians taking advantage of the ethnic factor to whip up emotions for political advantage.
As long as the ethnic aspect of politics remains the most prominent, it's going to be trouble, not just for South Africa, but also for neighboring countries of South Africa and elsewhere on the continent. And that is something I think the continent has to grapple with.
The UN estimates that 19 out of the 20 youngest countries in the world are in Africa. And that is the continent's defining challenge, one that must be dealt with the urgency that it deserves. Sarah Kimani, SABC News, Kenya.